Don't pull on my fucking tampon string. I will punch you so fucking far across this whole goddamn fucking...
Oh, it's the Can't Get Any Worse podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we are well. Happy Tuesday to you all. What a splendid day here in sunny southeast Queensland. It has been a weekend that we've been ravaged by storms and things like that. A lot of rain over the weekend, but today, not a cloud in the sky. So I'm loving it, ladies and gentlemen. Very good to walk out there, soak up some vitamin D. And speaking about vitamin D, let's rip right back into this opening clip and see what the fuck this chick's on about.
Don't pull on my fucking tampon string. I will punch you so fucking far across this whole goddamn fucking...
All right, if you're going to start an argument talking about your tampon, that's like the ultimate lady move, you know what I mean? Like, that's what all the chicks and shit used to do at school when they wanted to get out of class. They're just like, oh, sir, it's lady business, you know what I mean? So she's starting the argument talking about her tampon. She's already won. That's checkmate. You can't come back from that. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to punch you. She's weaponized menstruation somehow. Oh, God, I wish that could be the episode title, but I think that is too on the nose. I feel like YouTube will pick that one up. But, yeah, that lady is just pulling the string on her tampon like it's a pin in a hand grenade and just throwing it in that argument. Oh, yuck. All right. Hey, and I don't mean yuck as in women's that time of the month is disgusting. It's a beautiful thing. That's what brings life into the world, ladies and gentlemen. I mean yuck as in the imagery of that woman that I just saw up on my screen. Just picturing her. I'm not even going to say it, okay? Because I don't want you guys to get the same image in my head or in your head, sorry. We share separate heads, luckily. Luckily for you guys, we have separate heads and you don't have all these dark thoughts going on inside your heads, all right? So let's move on with the episode, guys. It has been another jam-packed week. And I don't know how I'm cramming all this shit in. I don't want to fucking, and not in like a, oh, James, you're killing it, bro. You're doing such a good job. Trust me, I don't think that at all. It's just like, a lot of people have said to me over the time, they're like, how do you juggle everything? How do you do the podcast and do gigs and then run gigs and edit the podcast, do all the clips, spend time with family, have a full-time job, yada, 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 whatever else I'm juggling, all right? And I just go, oh, you just got to fucking make it happen. But the last few weeks, I will put my hand up. It has been an absolute slog. Like last week, I had 3 people in my everyday life, whether it's like work, friends, or family or someone, they've come up to me and they've been like, do you have a black eye? And I'll go look in the mirror. And no, I didn't have a black eye. I just had raging fucking black sacs under my eyes. You know what I mean? Oh, God, we're onto a ripper, guys. I'm going to take a sip of my delicious Celsius today. I've got some sunset vibe, so let's have a little sip of that. I've already cracked it, so unfortunately you guys don't get a can crack this week. Oh, yeah, that is so good. That is so good, guys. Go and get some. I'll tell you what rivals it, though, and, hey, nobody tells Celsius this, but I've cheated on them a couple times the last week, okay? The new Flipside flavor from Troy Candy and Adrian Portelli. What's it called? Like sherbet or something? Oh, if you're a 90s kid, go and get a can of that. It is insane. It tastes like you know the pack of fruit tingles that you used to get back in the day? You'd like put them on your tongue. They'd give your tongue a little bit of a fizz. They taste identical to that. They are so addictive. But Celsius, if you're listening, I wouldn't even have any idea what they taste like. You know what I mean? I would never dream of tasting another energy drink other than my sweet, sweet nectar of sunset vibe from Celsius at a service station or Woolworths near you. There's the plug for the week, guys. Now let's move the fuck on. We're going to kick off with it's a bit of a, I don't know if it's a sad story, but it's a story that really tugged at the dad heartstrings this week, okay? Finished the podcast last Monday, do all the editing, everything else I had to do. School pickup time comes around. I go get the kids. And look, usually afternoons, they're somewhat fun, okay? We have a bit of banter in the afternoon. Me and the boys end up doing something until Nikita gets home. And pick the boys up, get them in the ute, and Westy is just off. He's quiet as. He's not really participating in the banter of Man P of like, what happened in your day today, P? And he's like, oh, fucking, I drew a picture and then I showed my dick and balls to everyone. And I'm like, well, that's exactly what I would expect from you. Westy, what did you do? And he's just sitting there staring out the window, just zoned out. And I could tell something was off. So I go, what's wrong, Westy? He's like, oh, nothing. And I'm like, no, something's wrong. What happened today? Someone picking on you or something? He's gone, no, nothing like that. And I've gone, well, what happened? And he goes, forgot my togs. And straight away, it was like my heart just shattered. I could feel my heart just drop to the bottom of my stomach because long-time listeners of the podcast know that swimming and Westy, they've never really gelled perfectly, okay? It was like a whole thing when he was younger, trying to get him to do swimming lessons and things like that. And now these days, like if he, like mum's got a pool and stuff, he'll go around there and he'll just, if he's just playing and just having a leisurely like float in the pool or something, he's fine. But it's when it comes to like doing strokes or things like that, like actual proper swimming, he just hits the panic button and he's just never really meshed with it. So as soon as I heard him say that, I'm like, great, another traumatic event around swimming. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I suppose, and I don't know how they are while parents aren't around, but from the external, Westy's like tight group of mates that he's got, I don't think they would have like picked on him and stuff for like forgetting his stuff. But I know when I was a kid, if someone forgot their swimming bag, oh God, you would have been called like swim bag Sally for the rest of the year or something. You know what I mean? Just something stupid like that. So I was like, fuck, I hope he didn't get picked on or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, so did you just have to sit on the side or something? He's like, no, I still went swimming. And I'm like, how did you still go swimming? And he's like, oh, yeah, I borrowed, the teacher had like a spare swimming cap and a spare towel and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, my son is like that. You know how you got that one kid in your grade where he's like from a halfway house or something and he's always borrowing shit off the school? I was like, oh my God, my poor son. I felt so bad. And I was like, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, it's cool. They just said, don't forget tomorrow. And I'm like, as soon as we get home, I'm jamming your swimming bag in your school bag so you'll never forget it. I'm going to stitch your swim bag inside your school bag so there is no potential opportunity for this to ever happen again. And so we keep driving. We get a couple of minutes into the drive. He's starting to feel a bit better now, okay? He's starting to warm up. He's got that off his chest. He's feeling better. And you know what I mean, guys? If you've got something eating you up inside, talk to someone about it. There's my little mental health note for the episode. Now let's move on to the next chapter of this story. We get a little bit extra into the drive and I start to think, I'm like, okay, so you didn't have togs or anything. So what'd you go swimming in? I go, what'd you go swimming in? I know you said the teacher had a towel and a swimming cap, but I'd be very surprised if she had a size 8 little boy's swim trunks in her bag. Like, then I'd start to ask questions, you know. I'd probably send an email to the school and be like, hey, why has this chick got little boy's clothes in her handbag? Okay? Not throwing allegations around. I'm just saying if that did happen, I would have to ask follow-up questions. And I feel like most parents would be the same. And he goes, oh, I just went in my jocks. And I was like, you're a braver man than I. If I was 8 and I had to go swimming in my jocks in front of the whole school, I never would have gone back to school. I would have just got a trade in grade 3 and just that would have been my life. So I'm like, oh, okay, hats off to you. I go, so next question. I'm assuming you didn't take your swimmers and stuff. So how did you have spare jocks? And he's like, oh, I didn't have any jocks. I've just been wearing no jocks all day. And I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, look, Dad, I've got to be honest with you. Kind of liked it. Oh, God. And I've gone, oh, okay. Well, although it may have felt good, you've got to wear jocks every day, okay? I'm not having that kid that goes to school and he's just sitting at assembly. Maybe his legs are a little bit wider than they should be and his cock and balls is just sitting on the school auditorium carpet. I'm not getting that phone call. I'm not having that conversation with your principal. So hats off to my 8-year-old son, Westy. He's discovered what it's like to be a 30-year-old tradie, just rocking no jocks on a work site. No better feeling in the world. Oh God. But yeah, I found that heartbreaking and amusing at the same time, guys. So hopefully you got the same feelings from that. I'm going to have another little sip and then we'll rip right into some, look, this actually ties into eating and drinking. So This week, now, I got to preface this, okay? Fuck it. I'll just start the story. But I've got to tell you guys, I've not been true to what I'm about to say this week. And you guys are going to find that out because I got stories on the back of this that back that information up. So this week, I officially started my diet, okay? And my workout routines and stuff like that, like I go pretty hard in the gym. I will pat myself on the back. I'm at the gym for at least an hour every day. I'm lifting heavy weights and I'm doing all the right movements and shit like that. Gym has never been an issue for me. What has been the biggest issue my entire life is dieting and eating healthy, okay? I am an absolute fiend for lollies, chocolate, junk food, any sort of delicious sweet treat that you can get in front of me. I will demolish the whole bag right then and there. And like, for example, I've been pretty good all week. I did have a couple of slip-ups, which I've got stories about them. They will come up. But Mum came around yesterday. She likes to buy the boys like treats and shit for their lunchbox, delicious like little packs of Oreos and Doritos and shit like that. And then on top of that, she buys like packets of Tim Tams and packets of party mix lollies and stuff. And look, hey guys, if we're being honest, I'd say the kids probably get 10% of all that. You know who gets the other 90%? This fat fuck in this chair right here. Oh, I'm an absolute fiend for it. I cannot go to the cupboard or fridge and see some sort of chocolate or lolly in there and not have 10. Not have 10 fucking Tim Tams or a handful of lollies. I've just got to grab it. I'm so bad for it. And that's where I've always been bad, okay? I've never really been much of a healthy eater. And I've always dabbled. I've always either gone super hard at a diet for like, I don't know, a month or something. I'd lose a bit of weight. And then once I've lost that weight, I'll be like, okay, job's done. Let's go get some Maccas. And I just fuck it all up, put the weight back on. So I was like, nah, all right. To tie in with the boxing training and things like that, I've wanted to lose weight for the longest time. I think I've been pretty open with it on the podcast as well, trying to keep myself accountable. But just keeps slipping into my life. And so I was like, all right, what am I going to do? So I sit down with my good friend ChatGPT. And I've gone, hey, this is my height, this is my weight, this is my age, this is all my statistics. Can you please help me put together a weekly meal plan that I can be in a calorie deficit for? And I go, what did I say? I go similar to like EBT, which is Adam Sullivan's brand, and he's big on the calorie deficit and things like that. And it seems like a diet that I'd be able to maintain because he's big on like, you don't have to get rid of Maccas and KFC and shit. You just have to work it into your daily calorie intake. So I'm like, okay, I feel like I could probably incorporate that a little bit. So I've punched that into ChatGPT. And to be honest, part of me felt bad for doing this, okay? This was one of the first times I've used ChatGPT and I'm like, wow, I've just put someone out of a job. Like I should have gone to a nutritionist and like got them to help me with a diet. But the fact that I could do this on my computer and it spat this out in about 10 to 15 minutes of just a full weekly meal plan of breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. And then I could go like, it'd spit it out and I'd look at it and I'd go, look, to be honest, I don't really like this food. Can you please substitute it for something along the lines of this or something? And then it would redo the whole meal plan, spit it back to me. How about this one, James? How's this go for you, you fat fuck? And I'd be like, that looks delicious. Thank you, ChatGPT. And then fucking, where was I going to go from there? I've just lost my train of thought. But anyway, let's move on from that. I don't know where my brain was going just then. So I started on that and look, I stuck to it pretty well throughout the week. Like work days were fine because I just take my esky to work. So it's literally all I've got in there. That's all I've got to eat for the day. And like, you don't realize how hard dieting is. Like on Friday, for example, okay, I was driving in the truck. I had to go pick something up for work, opened my esky, and I'm literally so hungry. And I look in the esky, all I see in there is a delicious big red apple. And I've gone, oh my God, you've never looked so sexy in your life, you big red apple. Oh God. You don't realize how hungry you are until you start looking at an apple like it's a sex toy and you're like, oh, get over here. Get over here and give me some fucking roadhead in this big old truck while no one's looking. And then I don't want to ruin you guys have all probably got a half chub right now listening to this. I don't want to ruin that on you guys. I took a bite into this big, delicious red apple, and once I pulled the apple away, inside it was like brown and disgusting, and the core was all furry and yuck, and I was like, this is exactly why I don't eat healthy. This is fucking disgusting. I was just waiting for a little worm to poke its head out and be like, hey, James, good job with your dieting, you fat fuck. How many times have I said fat fuck in the last 10 minutes? That's crazy. Anyway, let's move on. On top of the dieting, so my main meal all week, and because it's simple and shit to prepare at work, and to be honest, I don't mind it too much. So I've just been having one of those microwave tubs of rice, a can of tuna, mix a little soy sauce into it, and then a little sprinkle of Kewpie mayonnaise on top. It's like a delicious little sushi bowl, and it's fucking, I actually quite enjoy it. So I'm like, wow, this is eating healthy, and it fills me and shit. Like the rice is filling. But my wife, my lovely darling wife, Nikita, that I mention on the podcast all the time, she fucked me this week, ladies and gentlemen. She fucked me hard. So I have all that in the cupboard, obviously. Nikita went groceries on Sunday. Now, before all this, I don't know why, but Nikita gets into these weird food fads as well, okay? She'll get into these weird obsessions and she'll just start cooking stuff and getting into weird foods, and I'm just like, whatever you want to do. So about a month or maybe even 2 months ago now, she bought some coconut rice, okay? And one day I was like, oh, it's probably just normal rice. So I heat it up, take a bite. Fucking disgusting. I don't know what it was. It was like fruity rice, and I was like, nah, I cannot stomach that. It literally made me feel so sick. And I was like, not for me. Nikita tries it. She goes, yeah, not for me either. That's fucking gross. And instead of being grown adults, what we should have done is throw those leftover rice tubs in the bin. But what we did, because we're not responsible adults, is we just let them live in our pantry rent-free. Just, hey, you guys sit over in the corner of the pantry there. We'll forget about you. Everything's going to be A-okay. So Nikita gets home from groceries on Sunday. She's emptying all the groceries. And what she does is she's got like, what would you call it? She likes to make her pantry look aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like, those annoying TikTok mums and stuff that are like, I have to have my cereal here and all my sauces have to be on a spinning carousel. And then I have to open all this stuff and pour it in this container. And then all the school snacks need to be down in this container. So Nikita's like that, okay? So we've got like a tub in there. We've got a tub that's just full of the tuna cans. Then we've got a tub beside it full of the rice tubs. Just the microwavable rice tubs. So when I need to pack my lunch, grab one of them, piece of cake, in and out, simple. And Nikita gets home from groceries. She's giggling. She's unpacking the groceries. And I'm like, what are you laughing at? And she's like, oh, I might have played a little trick on you this week. And I've gone, okay, what would the little trick be? And she's gone, oh, I don't know. Remember those tubs of coconut rice that were in the pantry? I've gone, yeah. And she goes, well, played a little trick on you. And this week, I've mixed them in with all the regular rices that I just bought. So we've got like, I don't know, 10 tubs of rice in there. 2 of those tubs contain coconut rice. And they're all just white tubs with a fucking clear film on top. There is no way to decipher which is the coconut rice. I've tried. I've looked at them all. They all look identical. And I'm like, how is that a funny joke? And she's just laughing. She's laughing like she's just playing a real life Squid Game on me right now. Like, it's do or die with her. And I'm like, that's not a good joke. Like, I'm going to go to work one day and I'm literally going to have to starve until I get home because I can't eat my lunch. Now that I say it out loud, it is kind of funny. Like, if I was to do that to someone, I'd be like, that's a good joke. But the fact that it's going to be on me and I'm going to have to starve all day at work, it's going to fucking kill me. So I was like, it's not a good joke. And she is pissing her pants so hard. She's laughing so hard. I'm like, babe, this is not a good prank. It's like, you're literally torturing me right now. She's like, she thinks she's Jigsaw from the Saw movies. Every lunch break, I'm just going to be playing coconut rice roulette. It's going to fucking do my head in. Oh, God. Sorry I burped when I said roulette just then. Anyway, I'm going to have a sip and then we're going to get on to something else. All right. Oh, I thought I had my fuck ups after that. No, I don't. Okay. That's okay. We'll get onto them. So on top of the healthy eating and stuff like that, I went out this week and I bought a new piece of equipment for my training. Now, I just want to start this story, this yarn, whatever you want to call it, with a big thank you and appreciation for everyone in the not only like you listeners and followers and things like that have been reaching out and like giving me a pat on the back for like the fucking boxing training, if you will, that I've been doing. And let me finish the appreciation thing and then I'll get onto it. But yeah, you guys, the listeners, the followers, a heap of people in the podcasting community getting behind me, and the comedy scene as well, which I definitely did not expect. So many comedians shooting me a message and stuff. And I got one of them this week. Blew my mind, okay? I've always been like friendly with this bloke, but if I was to sit down and write a list of who I would think would reach out to me with some boxing advice in the comedy scene, this person would probably be one of the last ones that I would have thought, okay, let's stop that phone call. So yeah, shout out to Julian Woods. So Julian Woods, he's pretty big on social media and things like that. He used to work with Marty and Michael. He was a big part of their podcast and their social stuff for a little while. Big with Jackson O'Doherty, all that sort of scene, okay? And now he's like a touring comedian, and his big thing is like dark humor. So I get a message from him last week, and I'm like, oh, okay, what could Julian want? And like I said, we're friendly when we see each other. We talk here and there. He's given me a little bit of advice with socials and stuff at a couple of gigs I've been at, like when I was doing the whole vlogging my gigs thing. He's like, oh, why don't you do this, and this? And I was like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, he sends me a DM, and he's like, hey, bro, I've been watching your boxing content. He's like, hats off to you for fucking giving it a crack. He's like, look, don't have to take this advice, but when I got into boxing, a big thing that helped me with my footwork is going and getting an agility ladder. And I was like, oh yeah, I've seen those. Like obviously when you watch like all the motivational boxing videos and shit on TikTok and stuff, they're like stepping in and out of the agility ladder. So I went and grabbed one of them. I'm like, oh, thanks, dude. Went and bought one, and holy fuck, this thing is so difficult. Like you look at it as just a couple of bits of rope and a couple of little like slats of the ladders, and you YouTube beginner agility ladder boxing fucking tutorial or some shit. I was dripping in sweat after this. My feet were just not keeping up. I have zero coordination, okay? And I think that's why, like, when I dabbled with boxing midway through the year this year, I think that's why I stopped, because I was in like I think they called it, not like their advanced class, but it was like it was with all the fighters that competitively fight and stuff. So they're saying all these moves and shit, and I was just struggling to keep up with coordination. And part of me felt bad that I was like bringing them down with me. Like they're obviously paying for their class and shit. They don't want to be paired up with some fucking idiot that doesn't know how to bob and weave. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do this in my own time. So yeah, pretty crazy. If you want to test yourself, go and do that. But I was trying to step in and out of this ladder. I look like Bambi on ice. So maybe instead of training for an undisclosed boxing event in 2026, I should train for a Disney on Ice show in 2026. I'd probably sell more tickets. All right. Take a sip and then we'll get into our next turns out it can get worse clip. All right. Let me adjust in this seat. I've sunk down a little bit. Drag this bad boy over. Where's my mouse, ladies and gentlemen? All right, I got it. So, speaking about boxing training, let's see what this guy's on about. It's a bloke wearing some boxing gloves on top of a boxing bag.
POV, this punching bag is you.
Wow. Just a bloke spinning around on a boxing bag and then pretending to suck it off, you know what I mean? This is why I'm scared to commit to boxing. I'm scared that this is what I'll turn into. How am I supposed to compete with people when there's people out there giving a boxing bag the Gluck Gluck 3000? Imagine getting knocked out by someone who warms up like that. That would be the most humiliating thing in my life. If, like, my opponent was to put a video out like that and I just get knocked out. I would never live it down. All right. Now let's get on to my dieting fuck-ups for the week. This is what I thought I had further up, but you guys know me. To be honest, I've prepared this podcast late, okay? I didn't prepare this podcast until this morning. Usually I'm all over it on a Sunday night, but last night I had Distillery Rd, and when I got home, I was just fucked. I went straight to bed. So big morning this morning getting this one ready. So hence the reason some stuff is just all over the shop. Anyway, where I want to get to, I just want to say a big fuck you to Uber Eats drivers, okay? Now, yes, I was on a diet this week. This is fuck up number one of my week. Nikita and I were chilling here. I think it was Friday night or something. The boys went to mum's house for a sleepover. And Nikita was like, let's put a movie on. I was like, yep, sounds good. I just need a night where I zone out. We put a movie on. We watch it. I'm sitting there watching the movie. I'm starting to get a bit hungry, a bit peckish for something sweet. I go, hey, babe, feel like a chocolate muffin from McDonald's? And she goes, you fucking bet I do. So I Uber Eats a couple of chocolate muffins from McDonald's. And 20 minutes later, we get the little notification, your Uber Eats has been delivered. And this is where the story goes downhill, okay? I do not understand. And this is not the first time it's happened. This has happened numerous times. And I'm sure it hasn't just happened to me. I'm sure you guys have experienced this at some point in your life. Why do Uber Eats drivers insist on putting the Uber Eats bag hard up against your front door and then walking away? So then you've got to like push your front door open and hope that you don't push your food over. Like, I understand I just had muffins on Saturday night, okay? So even if I did tip them over, it's not a big deal. But they've done it before when I've had like drinks and shit in the bag. I've had to walk out my back door around the front and get my Uber Eats. It's so fucking annoying. It's like, bro, you're delivering me food. You're not setting a trap, okay? Let me get out my own front door and eat this delicious chocolate muffin that I'm breaking my diet on, okay? Stop blocking my door with muffins, you fucking delinquent. Oh, that's been my Uber Eats rant. So fuck you, Uber Eats. Specifically, I don't remember what his name is, okay? So I'm not going to out him. But my second fuck up of the week, Saturday was a big day for me, okay? I went to gym early. Then I had Westy's basketball training, into Westy's game, into driving over to Sunny's to set up that gig on the rooftop for West Park, do the gig, pack the gig down. Then I drove over to Bowen Hills to record this week's guest episode, packed up there, drove home. I called Nikita on the drive home. She's like, look, me and the boys have already had dinner. Why don't you just get yourself something on the way home? And I was like, oh, God, I should just have something when I get home, but I'm fucking wrecked. So sure, let's swing into my local KFC. Now, I've spoken about this bloke on the podcast before. He's my boy, okay? He's my KFC boy. There is this young dude there, typical young, I'd say he's maybe 17, maybe 18. He rocks a big, like, fake diamond-encrusted gold cross chain and things like that. He's always got his hat on backwards. Just a real cool kid, okay? And he always goes, oh, you want a couple extra sauces, or you want this or something like that, or he'll upgrade my drink for me. He'll be like, shh, don't tell anyone. And I assume he does this with everyone, but God, it makes you feel fucking special. I cruise through there Saturday night, place my meal, get to the window. It's him. I'm like, hey, man, how are you? He's like, yeah, good, brother. How are you been? And I'm like, yeah, not too bad. Anyway, bit of small talk while I pay. And then I go, put my foot on the accelerator. I start to drive away. I'm halfway past the window. He goes, oh, bro, wait, one more thing. And I've gone, oh, what's up? And he's like, bro, that beard, looking fucking good, bro. Looking fresh. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm going to go shovel this KFC in my mouth, feeling so good about myself because you complimented me. So shout out to my local KFC guy for making me feel special while I'm engorging my fat face with KFC. It almost redeemed Uber Eats, okay? It almost gave a bit of redemption for fast food. So, yeah, that's sorry. I was just scrolling down just then, and I was like, oh wait, I've still got to talk to you guys, and you guys know how much I hate dead air. Speaking about dead air, I'm going to take another little sip. We bought our dog Bailey a bone on the weekend, and look, she loves bones, a bit like her old man. You know what I mean? Oh God, that was disgusting. Anyway. And I was referring to myself as her old man then. I'm a doggy dad, okay? Doggy dad. Fuck me. Anyway, Nikita gets his bone out of the packet, and the last few times we've given Bailey a bone, she's been super gross and just brought it back inside, and we've caught her eating it on the couch or on the bed or something and just spilling fucking bone juice everywhere. Bit like her old man, you know what I mean? Oh, God, that's gross. There's a reason why I'm the number one dog comedian in Brisbane. Just comes to me, you know what I mean, when I talk about dogs. Anyway, let's get on to the fucking story. We give her the bone, and Nikita goes, all right, I'm going to, I've got an old blanket. I'll lay it down so she knows to eat the bone on the blanket. And then once she's made a mess on that blanket, we'll just throw it in the bin because it's gross anyway. So Nikita lays down this big, blue, fluffy blanket on the ground. And Bailey starts eating the bone on it, bone juice going all over it. But then Bailey starts to get a little bit fussy, and she's like trying to pick all the fluff off the bone and things like that. And the bone's starting to look like fairy floss for psychopaths, you know what I mean? It's covered in blue fluff, just this dirty bone just covered in blue. And I was just looking at it, and Nikita's like, oh, poor little Bailey, come on, I'll get your bone off it and things like that. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. This stupid spotty fuck, and I've got a joke about this, but somehow she's like a descendant of a wolf in some way, right? Are you trying to tell me that wolves kill their prey and then somebody comes and like defurs it? No, you just chew around it. You just chew that fur off, spit it to the side, and then you get to eat the delicious meat inside. It's like a sweet treat, you know what I mean? It's like when you peel a banana and you just get to eat the delicious middle. You don't someone doesn't come and peel my bananas for me. Oh, dogs used to be out there in the wild just hunting down elk and just chewing their hide off and just getting to the sweet, delicious meat. And my dog's sitting out there with a bone, scared of a fluffy blue blanket. So, yeah, anyone that wants a Dalmatian, come and get her. Come and get the sooky little thing. But let's get on to our turns out it can get worse. Oh, our next turns out it can get worse clip. Which one's that? Okay, I don't even know which video this is. I've just labeled it Carrot Man. Oh, God. I really should have prepped a bit better for this podcast. Let's hit play.
If you dangle it around my face, it's gonna go in my mouth. If you dangle it like a carrot in front of my mouth, I'm gonna eat it.
Nah, fair call. I'm exactly the same way. To be fair, when I initially asked ChatGPT to formulate a diet for me, that's the diet that they suggested for me. They're like, hey, you talk about gay shit all the time. How about you dangle some carrots around your mouth and you pretend that they're giant cocks just flopping around your face? Oh, Lord. God, I don't know how my brain works. If there's any psychologists or anything listening to this, shoot me a message. Let's dig deep into this brain. I should get you on for a guest episode. You can what's the word? Like counsel me or whatever through an episode. That'll actually be a pretty sick episode. We should do that. I'm going to put that in the memory bank. We'll work on that. But yeah, as I mentioned on Saturday, went and recorded another guest episode. So this was a fun one. I recorded it with Ryan McCarthy. He is the host of the One Talk podcast, and he has just opened Out the Box Studios up at Bowen Hills. So we recorded the episode in his studio, and shout out to these guys. Fucking insane. It's so good to see someone in the scene that's just, because he's been hammering for, I forget what he said. I think he said like 6 or 7 years or something of just going hard, and like now he's just moved into this studio and set it all up. So it's a long road, and like the list of guest names that he's had on, like 360, he's got a heap of like boxers and MMA fighters and shit on. So it's it's pretty insane to see what he's done and his personal story. I started to listen to like a few podcasts that he was on, and I was like, you know what? Like, I kind of want to hear all this stuff organically and get a genuine reaction when he tells me about his life and stuff like that. And I knew there was a little bit of something that went on in his childhood and stuff like that. So yeah, when he told me that on the episode, I was a little bit blown away. I was like, holy shit, I was not expecting that. But yeah, there's something about guest episodes, hey, where I'm so in my head, and I think once I do a few more and I just start to ease in and I go, okay, just treat them more of a conversation than an interview, if that makes sense. Like, that's the last thing I want to do is like sit there with a list of questions and be like, what's your favorite food? Fucking, why do you do this? Or what's your fucking process on this? You know what I mean? I just want literally just to have a conversation with him. Like, if I could put on a pedestal like the type of interview style that I want, it'd probably be like Theo Von. Like, if you listen to a Theo Von guest episode, he just talks to anyone about anything, and that's exactly where I want to be. So I just need to loosen up. And like I said, literally 10 minutes ago, my biggest fear on podcasts is just dead air. And I'll put my hand up. I feel like the first half of that episode, I was somewhat all over it. I knew somewhat where I wanted to take the episode. I knew a bit of a direction. I had a couple of like questions in my back pocket that I knew I could pivot the podcast on if I needed to. But then we got about that halfway mark and I just started to hit the panic button. And I noticed myself when Ryan was talking, instead of just sitting there like actively listening to what he was saying, and then that could have flowed into another conversation about that thing, I was just sitting there so in my head just thinking about the next question, you know what I mean? And that's the last thing you want to do. It's not good to produce a good podcast. So in saying that, I do think the episode came out sick, so make sure you go and give it a listen. It drops on this coming Thursday. So yeah, he was telling me some wild stories on there, and it was just insane. He's been, to be honest, he was probably one of the earliest podcasts that like followed me back, and we had a bit of back and forth banter and things like that back when I first started this thing. So yeah, that was pretty cool to get up there and see what he's done. So let's what have I done? What? Okay, let's just put it here. I've got another turns out it can get worse clip before we get into my week in comedy, guys. Let's hit play.
This is a literal piece of my nutsack right here. It got ripped out when the dog ripped open my balls last night. Here is the proof of that dog bite testicle injury. Yeah, so a dog ripped open my nuts last night. In 2 different places, my nuts fell out of the sack. And, yeah. That piece of skin was way bigger. It was like almost the size of a dime when it was wet. I just stuck it in my pocket when the nurses weren't looking. And, yeah. So, but it dried out. And they stitched everything back up, so I think I'll be all right.
My nuts fell out the sack. Could that be the episode title? But dear God, just stealing a piece of your nutsack like it's a souvenir from the hospital. That is crazy. Just showing everyone a piece of his nutsack like it's his personal merchandise. Oh God, my balls were just tingling just thinking about that. Imagine a dog just latching onto your nutsack. One of the worst things that could possibly happen, I reckon. I mean, I've never experienced it, but let's hope I never do. But let's rip into my week in comedy. Thursday night, it all kicked off. And to be honest, I didn't plug this gig last week because I didn't know I had it. And part of me is wondering, I got the phone call and I'm like, am I being tested right now? Is this a test? Because I get a phone call from the owner of Sit Down Comedy again. And I'm like, oh, this could be my big break. I go, hey, mate, how are you? He goes, yeah, I'm just confirming you for Sans Social on Thursday. And I'm like, I don't think I'm on that lineup, am I? He's like, I've got you down here. And I've gone, oh, okay, I don't think I got an email or something. He goes, well, if you don't want the gig, I can offer it to someone else. And I've gone, whoa, hey, that's not what I said, okay? That's not what I said. I'm available. I'll be there. And I was like, is he testing me right now? Did he have a dropout and he's seeing how flexible I am or what the go is? Like, is he hazing me? So I'm just like, yeah, all right, I'll do the gig. Thursday night comes around. Westy's got touch football on Thursdays. So I go and watch that. Then I drive to the north side of Brisbane. This place is like an hour 10, hour 15 from my house. So it's a big hike for a 5-minute spot. Get there and I'm hoping I'm early on the lineup. And I'm like, please, please, please. Look at the lineup. Dead last. And I'm like, you are fucking joking me. I'm going to be kicking around here till like 9 o'clock at night. And then I'm going to drive back after that. So I'm like, is what it is. Luckily, I took my laptop. So I was just fucking around on that for a bit. And, the audience there, all over their 70s. It felt like I was doing comedy in a retirement village. So, I'm not too... I was just watching comedian after comedian just have one of those like mediocre sets, you know what I mean? Like no huge laughs, not a real bomb, just coasting through. And I could tell the jokes that were bombing and I was like, I'm not going to do well here. This is not going to be good. And I just sort of... If there's more hip replacements in the room than there is laughter, it's probably not going to be a great gig, okay? Oh, God. So I got up there, and I won the oldies over, okay? I was pretty happy with my set considering how the rest of the night panned out. So it made the drive home a little bit easier, to be honest. So shout out to those oldies. Then on Saturday, we had our gig at Sunny's for West Park. And like I said at the start of this episode, it's been storms all weekend, and that's a rooftop gig for us in the middle of the day. So I was like, oh, shit, what are we going to do? And luckily that venue has a function room on the ground floor. So if the rooftop is too wet, we can just do it down there. So either way, the gig was going ahead. But, the storms held off for Saturday and held off all the way until the last act was on stage. And then it started to storm. And I was like, wow, you're looking after me, whoever's up there. You're looking after me with this weather. So there was a dude in the crowd as well that I was going a bit back and forth with. His name was Jeff. Found out after the show that's not his real name. But, like, this dude, big, jacked, fucking buzz cut. Sunny's on the whole gig. Tattoos from fucking head to toe. And I could feel him just staring a hole at me on stage. And I was like, the only way to deal with this is to address it. So I started like riffing with him back and forth on stage, and we actually had a couple of funny crowd work moments and stuff like that. And whenever something wouldn't really land, I'd just refer back to Jeff. Crowd would get back on my side. Just some real standard crowd work emceeing, you know. And after the show, Jeff came up to me, and I'm like, "Fuck, is he going to punch me in the jaw?" He goes, "Mate, you're fucking hilarious." And I was like, "Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much." He's like, "Jeff's not my real name." I was like, okay. So, shout out to that bloke. He was a cracker. He made it all worth it. So, yeah, another fun one. That's our I think that's our last one at Sunny's for 2026. Need to check if we've got one in December now that I think about it. That's a good little thing to chase up today. But anyway, our last gig was Distillery Rd last night for West Park again. And prior to the gig, I usually get there 45 minutes to half an hour before, okay? Because the venue supplies everything for that gig. So all I've got to do is rock up and be ready to go. So I'm chilling there, and none of the acts are there yet. So I'm awkwardly walking around, and I just start walking back and forth to my car a couple times, like just to get chewing gum or to get a pen or just for something to do. So about the third time walking back to my car, I get there, I'm leaning in my car. I think I'm getting a piece of gum or something. This dude comes up behind me, and he's like, "Hey, bro, you got the bags?" And I he startled me, and I stand up. I'm like, "Pardon?" He's like, "You got the bags, bro?" I'm like, No, I don't. And he's like, "Oh, fuck, I just kept seeing you come back to your car. I thought you might have the bags in there." I was like, "Nah, I'm just awkwardly pacing." He's like, "Oh, fuck, all right. My missus has dragged me along to this comedy shit. I was hoping you had the bags in there to make it a little more worth it." And I don't know why my dumb fucking head did this, but I go, "Oh yeah, that's cool. I'm hosting the comedy." He didn't need to fucking know that right then and there. That just made everything so much awkward. And I was like, he's like, "Oh, okay, well, you better make me laugh." And I was like, "Let's fucking hope so." So, so awkward. Anyway, the gig starts, and I'm trying to get the crowd amped up. I'm trying to do the crowd work and things like that in there. And I've said this before, it's a hard room to crowd work. And off to the right, there's this table of maybe like 8 people. And this person starts yelling stuff out at me. And I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" And like I've said before, there's kids that go to this show as well. So I'm like, "Oh, are there any kids in the crowd?" And a couple of the kids yell out. And then this person on this table, they yell out as well. But they didn't yell out like they were a kid. But in my head, I've asked that question, so only kids would answer. So I go, "Oh, we got a kid over here." They were the closest kid. So I'm like, well, that's going to be the easiest one to crowd work. I go, "Oh, we've got a kid over here. You ready to hear some swear words and stuff like that?" They say something again, and I'm like, "Oh, I hope your parents are watching you." I just kept going back and forth with this kid. And then I was like, halfway through the conversation, I started going back and forth with them. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think this is a kid. Oh, God, I feel so bad saying this. I don't think this is a kid. I think this might be somebody who has some form of a disability, and I don't know what disability or anything like that, but it comes apparent to me halfway through speaking to them, and I'm going, oh my God, you're not a child. And I've gone, anyway, and then I just start ripping into my bits, and I'm like, oh, you're a fucking dickhead. Like, why would you do that? Just start hating on myself. Anyway, the show starts, start bringing the comedians on, and the second comedian on, he's halfway through his set, and we're off in the green room just sort of making small talk and stuff. Then we start paying attention to his set. He starts crowd working this same table. And I don't know if he wasn't listening to me at the start or what the go was, but he starts doing crowd work with this same person, and he drops his foot in it even worse. He's like, oh, who's that person right there? Is that your support worker or something? And the support worker's gone, well, yeah, actually I am. And I've gone, the whole room's just sort of taken a deep breath, and I've gone, oh my God. Like, as a room runner, terrible situation. As a person who's just fucked up with that same table, thank fuck the heat's off me right now. Oh God. But yeah, decent sized crowd. Hats off to all the comedians that came, and yeah, going back and forth with Distillery Rd as to where we go with the comedy there next year. So there will be shows there. I just think we're going to make some tweaks and things like that, make the shows there better. So that will all come out once I've had those chats with them and once we've locked some things in. But I mentioned at the start of the episode, we watched a couple of movies, so I'll just quickly give some recommendations about them. The first movie was called Drop, I think it was. It's on Netflix. Crazy movie. So Nikita put this on, and I was just like, whatever. So I pictured myself just scrolling on my phone the whole movie. After the first 10 minutes, phone was down. I was locked in. I was like, oh my God, what is going to happen right now? So just a real like suspenseful thriller. It turned out to be a pretty cool movie. It's not like a top tier movie. It's definitely like a B grade movie. Like some of the effects and shit, I was like, oh, that's definitely fake. But yeah, cool storyline and cool little movie. So go check that one out if you are looking for something to do. The second movie we watched straight after that was called Last Breath. So that's got Woody Harrelson in it, and apparently it's based off a true story, which Nikita was super skeptical on. She's like, there's no way that could happen. And like part of me, I just wanted to buy into it. I was like, that's pretty cool. So, and Nikita treated that the same way. She thought that was going to be her phone scrolling one. Same deal. Phone was down. She was locked in. She's like, I need to know what fucking happened. So, yeah, without giving anything away, that one is basically about some deep sea divers that go out and work on the pipelines in the bottom of the ocean. And, yeah, crazy fucking story. So go check that one out if you're looking for a movie to watch. The last little fucking thing that I've consumed this week that I will give you guys a heads up on, NF released his new album this week. And look, I'm an NF fan. A lot of people don't like him. He's like a clean white rapper. And the other person I'm about to talk about, people probably hate him even more. MGK features on this album. And holy fuck, MGK's verse on this song is insane. So the song's called Who I Was. And look, I'll put this up there. Potentially the best verse of 2026. I know Adrian and Matt are going to listen to this and be like, you're a fucking idiot. Boys, go listen to it. Listen to it with no judgment on MGK. Just listen to it like lyrically or whatever. Some deep fucking sad boy shit. Maybe that's why I liked it so much, just because I'm a big sad boy at heart. So I've got one more, turns out it can get worse clip. So let's hit play on this bloke.
I'm taking my cock and balls to the Jonas Brothers concert. I don't care what the fuck you think about it.
All right, that dude definitely needs to be on a watch list. He is going to the Jonas Brothers concert with his cock and balls. So, oh God, his cock and balls are touring more than Taylor Swift. My God. The last thing I'm going to talk about this week, guys, UFC 322 happened yesterday. And my God, what a fucking card. It lived up to all the hype, okay? From the early prelims to the main event, I was on the edge of my seat. So many knockouts. Yeah, just an absolute top-tier card. But a couple of talking points I wanted to talk about. Evan Ewing, he made his debut on 40 hours' notice. The Australian, what was his name? Haddon. I forget his first name. He pulled out like 40 hours before the card. And this bloke, just from a regional scene, he got a knockout 8 days ago. The UFC calls him. They're like, you want to make your debut this Sunday? He locks it in, has his UFC debut in Madison Square Garden, cannot fucking write this shit. He goes out there and he puts on an impressive fucking show against Wellmaker, who was seen as like one of the up-and-comers in that scene. I think he was, don't quote me, but I think he might have even been undefeated up until that stage. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where that kid goes from here. And even like Joe Rogan and shit during the commentary, they were like, this kid is insane. So, keen to see that. Carlos Pratos, holy fuck. He lifted Leon Edwards off the canvas just with a straight punch and knocked him the fuck out. Leon Edwards, never been knocked out in his entire career. I think he's had 27 UFC fights, never been knocked out. Carlos Prates just threw a straight, fucking bang, knocked out cold. It was insane. Michael Morales knocks out our boy Sean Brady. Look, part of me did think that could have happened, okay? Morales is 18-0, 19-0 now, I think he is. And, that guy is a fucking problem. I would love to see Carlos Prates versus Michael Morales up next for the number one contender spot. But in saying that, the welterweight division at the moment is fucking stacked. You've got so many killers just chomping for that title shot. So I'm curious to see where the UFC goes with that, because we'll get to it at the end. But then we got on to Valentina Shevchenko, puts on a clinic. We got some vintage Valentina then. I personally thought she was going to come out and go for the submission or the KO, just to really stamp a point on she is the best female fighter to date. But yeah, she just went in there. Vintage Valentina just controlled the whole fight, made Zhang look like an absolute amateur in there. But it's not the fact that Zhang was like an amateur. I just think Valentina was just that good. Then on to the main event. This main event is getting so much hate, just like the DDP and Hamzat main event. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. Even though JDM went down, Makhachev, he fought the perfect fight for what he does, okay? I understand it's not the most exciting fighting style. It's not going to get you on the edge of your seat, but to just dominate someone like JDM for 5 rounds, JDM had absolutely no answer for anything Islam was putting his way. And I think Rogan words this perfectly, okay? If you just want to see someone strike, you want to see someone get knocked out, go and watch boxing. UFC is the perfect encapsulation of what a real life street fight would be. If you ran into Islam in the street and he got you down on the ground, there is nothing you'd be able to do, okay? So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I thought he put on an absolute clinic, wins the fight, gets his second belt. Khabib walks him around the octagon on his shoulders, absolute scenes. And then he goes, Dana, I want to be on the White House card. So fucking, like I was just saying before, the welterweight division is stacked at the moment. I don't know who they would put him against on the White House card. Everyone is leaning against Islam versus Ilia Topuria. That would be incredible, just double champ against double champ. But that sort of just puts the whole welterweight division on hold, which with it being as stacked as it is at the moment, I don't know if Dana would want to do that. But we'll see. We'll see where that all goes. There was obviously the whole Dylan Dennis versus Khabib's team in the crowd. Dylan Dennis has now received a lifelong ban from the UFC, so interesting to see where that goes. But to be honest, I liked Dylan Dennis when he was rolling around with Conor McGregor and shit like that. He was the little shit stirrer in the background. I kind of liked him back then, but he's definitely grown old. I'm not a huge Dylan Dennis fan anymore. All right, to cap off this episode, we have a voice note from our friend Ty Avery from the Roads We've Walked podcast. He has said, do not listen to this until the episode. So I've not listened to this yet. I could have to edit this entire thing out. It could just be him coming on here and saying the N-word or something. So I will click this open. Fuck, now I got to... Ty, you fucked me here. I made sure the videos worked, but not the audio. So let me double click this again. This should go straight into the voice note. So...
Good morning, Jimmy. I hope you're well, mate. This is just a public service announcement for you to turn off your fucking notifications. Every week you're going on about how you don't turn your notifications off, you forget to turn it off. Well, mate, I'm just here to remind you, and you can play this at the start of every episode from now on. Turn off your notifications. I think I speak on behalf of everyone where we want to say it's fucking annoying. No, I'm only joking, mate. It's not annoying. Just turn them off, all right? Just be a professional once in your life and just turn them off, all right? Get it? Got it? Good. See ya, boy.
You know what, Ty? Fuck you. Ding, 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 ding. No, last 2 weeks I've actually no, last week I forgot, didn't I? Yeah, look, I get it. I fucking get it. But I'm trying to do everything around here. If I forget to flick the notification button every now and then, fucking sue me. But I did hit it on this one, and I still got a phone call come through. So I don't know. I blame Apple. I blame Apple on that one. So, shout out to Ty for calling up. Absolute legend. And, yeah, that is all the calls we got this week. So, things to plug. I will be at Lamax at Wollongabba on Wednesday the 19th. Haven't done that gig before, so got hit up to do that one yesterday. Excited to see where that goes. And like I said earlier, guest episode with Ryan McCarthy dropping this Thursday. So get around it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a listen. Unreal bloke, unreal story, doing amazing things. So guest episodes, we've got the next, 3 weeks or something booked in. So got some crackers. Next week's episode, if that comes through, holy shit. I've wanted to talk to this guy for the last couple of years at least. So I would be absolutely fucking stoked if he's sitting across from me next week. Let's hope it happens. Let's all put our fucking hopes and prayers. But to keep the guest episodes going, guys, I need you guys to go hit download on it. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you all. Send submissions via DM on Instagram at cantgetanyworsepod@gmail.com, or I just fucked up that royally, didn't I? Or just send me a DM on Instagram at cantgetanyworsepodcast, okay? Keep sharing it. Keep rating it. Keep doing all the good stuff that you guys are doing. You guys are fucking killing it right now. I appreciate all you guys, and I will see you later.
Can't get any worse, will make you see. There's always a silver lining.